And what do you got me doing?
I don't know anymore. You're making me feel awkward.
Okay, so I think she wants me to pick some books out for her to read. So yeah, I think that's what we're doing. What do y'all think of our new campsite?
We're all alone again. All alone again. You didn't even say hi first, did you? Doesn't work that way.
Hi, I'm Tim, and I'm here goofing around with Crystal's camera. She's right here, but yeah, I do think I'm picking a book.
Well,
or something like that.
I don't like to make decisions, and so I'm gonna take all the decision away from
Go
me.
back here. Does it look like you're bigger than me?
I'm gonna take all the decisions out of my hands and put what I'm reading into his hands.
So there you have it. Stay tuned. Now, well, that thing automatically does the yeah, because it synced to the audio.
It automatically does the what?
The microphone.
What do you mean?
I didn't have. Yeah, we didn't turn it. Yeah,
Because we made sure the microphones were on already first.
So what am I doing here?
You gotta open that.
Oh, this is your tablet.
Yeah.
Do I need the pen?
No.
Okay.
And then we gotta turn it on.
With up
the
here?
On button.
So we're going to Libby, which is linked to the Quartzsite library here?
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to go to Available Now.
Okay, so we don't have to wait. We can check it out immediately.
Available Now. And we're going to go with Books. Oops. Click Books. And click. Yeah.
So Available Now.
You get to scroll and pick.
So anything. Right at the top, they got Mel Robbins and Emily Bronte. Bronte?
Yeah, that's a classic.
Okay. But Wuthering Heights?
I also hate that book.
Have you read it?
No.
Why do you hate it?
I hate it. I've seen spoiler-filled vlogs of it, and also I hate the adaptation of it, that loose retelling book of it. Yeah.
So then there's John Grisham's The Widow and Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life. Are there like hundreds of these?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
See, you're on page
well, I haven't even started.
You're on page 1 of 1,852.
I'm supposed to pick a book out of that?
Yeah.
Is there any way we can whittle them down with
You can go to categories, yeah. You can pick a category you want.
What category do you want to go with?
Let's see, there's like different, you can do different genres.
Okay, so
that's your choice.
My choice of genre too?
Yeah.
But you know what's sad is out of all these genres, I really don't know what you would pick.
That's because I read a bunch of different genres.
Yeah, but I know you would go you would go into the horror, but let's do gardening.
Let's see.
There's science fiction and fantasy. Okay, let's do that.
And then hit show.
Hit show. That's 131. That's better than 1800. The Maze Runner. Ooh. Is that similar to Dungeon Crawler Carl? Probably not, because it's a completely different author.
Oh, there's the
No one's ever made it through alive, and then a girl arrives. The first girl ever, and the message she delivers is terrifying. Remember, survive, and run. Have you read Dance of Thieves?
No.
This novel has it all: romance, conflict, danger, and humor. The wind is blowing right in my eyes, and it's causing them to tear up on me. Mitosis, The Last Star, Lies, Plague, Only a Monster, Raven. I guess there's nothing about this one.
Nope. I've never seen that.
Huh. Read sample. And there's nothing.
Well, that's loading.
Oh.
There's the sample.
Here are the top 3 things I've learned in my 22 years on the planet. Never wipe your butt with poison ivy. I should make you read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, but you probably have. Do you remember the 3 I had picked already?
There was The Maze Runner. There's
Interview with the Zombie.
It was like Dance of Thieves or Dance of Lies or something
That
like
one,
that.
Dance of Thieves, I think.
And then the third one was... I forgot.
Dance of Thieves.
Dance of Thieves?
Yeah.
Click the borrow button.
Pearson is a gifted storyteller and spinner of eminently satisfying romances and fantasies, says Publishers Weekly. A stunning new young adult adventure set in the kingdoms of Remnant by the author of the New York Times best-selling Remnant Chronicles and the Jenna Fox Chronicles. There you have it. Dance of Thieves by
Borrow.
Mary E. Pearson. Do you know that author?
I've seen this book before. I think I've heard someone talk about it. I don't remember.
You have now borrowed it.
Okay. Now we're looking at audiobooks.
Okay, let's go with horror. Do you actually like to read horror stories, or do you just like movies?
I like horror stories.
Okay. Well, these are ebooks, so it's kind of like between a read and a movie, right?
Yeah, audiobook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of that one, The House Across the Lake.
So have I. Riley Sager's popular in the on YouTube.
This was an instant New York Times bestseller. Riley Sager's Middle of the Night. I've heard of Wisteria, too.
That's the third one in the series.
Night Vale. Edgar Allan Poe, The Complete Collection. Wait a minute.
You just hit play sample or something, I think.
Yeah, but that's at your speed.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, number 128 in the series.
This one really seems spine-chilling. You've lost a lot of blood. See, at least with the audiobooks, you can kind of hear the voice
Narrator.
and the narrator. Because, yeah, I might want to read the book, but I don't know if I'd want that person reading it to me. I've seen a couple up here we didn't listen to that I was interested in.
That's the number 128.
Oh, shoot, you can't start at 128. So I think this one's at Something in the Walls by Daisy Pierce.
And then stay tuned for when he goes through my physical book TBR and picks one.
What's got there?
I got a small stack of my physical TBR.
Okay, what do we got? We got Stephen King, the Tommyknockers. Well, the book's all worn out there, you'll see. Nora Roberts, The Obsession.
Bless you.
The Dead Zone by Stephen King. Agatha Christie, Murder in 3 Acts. Dead is the New Black.
You skipped this one.
Oh. Cirque du Freak. By who, Sean?
Darren Shan.
And then Michelle Perez is Dead is the New Black. And then Need by Jones. Suck It Up by Mahil. And the New York Times bestseller Wake by Lisa McMahon. Okay,
There's a mix of reread and read.
let me see, because I want you to do not a reread. The Tommyknockers, The Obsession, The Dead Zone. Let's do Nora Roberts, The Obsession. Should we read the...
Is it on the back?
Naomi Bowes lost her innocence in the night she followed her father into the woods. In freeing the girl trapped in the root cellar, she revealed her father's horrible crimes and made him infamous. No matter what she does, Naomi can't outrun the sins of Thomas David Bowes.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, this one.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So it's the next day, and I've started a little bit of each of the 3 reads that Dad has picked for me today. Let's start with Dance of Thieves, because that is the first one that I did start reading. It's by Mary E. Pearson, and it's a formidable outlaw family that claims to be the first among nations, a son destined to lead, thrust suddenly into power. 3 fierce young women of the Rotten, the Queen's premier guard, a legendary street thief leading a mission determined to prove herself, a dark secret that is a threat to the entire continent. When outlaw leader meets reformed thief, a cat and mouse game of false moves ensues, bringing them intimately together in a battle that may cost them their lives and their hearts. So I am 22% through that one. It's a little over 500 pages. And the first couple of chapters where you're literally just thrust into the world, you don't really know any of the backstory or anything that's going on. I was a little bit confused trying to keep up, but once I got into the flow of things and it was less introductory, more action started happening. It really has flown by so far. I think I just blinked and all of a sudden I was over 20% and I was like, oh, okay, so this is reading pretty fast. There's quite a bit of action up front, and there's tension between the two main characters, you know, the reformed street thief who's part of the Queen's Guard, and the outlaw family where the son has been leader for a day after the unexpected death of his father. The two characters don't want to like each other. They're rivals. They are on two opposite sides of a kind of power struggle type of situation. And they're finding themselves in little moments where they're kind of stuck together and they're begrudgingly finding each other just a little bit likable, but they don't want to like each other. And I think so far it's been fun. I'm enjoying the two main characters. I like that we got glimpses of each of them with their companions around, but also that we're getting the bulk of it so far with just the two of them. Getting to see them build up their dynamic between the two of each other before they get back to their friends. So I'm really enjoying that one so far. The next one that I kind of started last night but didn't get too far is Nora Roberts' The Obsession. I've read, I think, 2 chapters so far, and it was all just backstory of Naomi when she was, 11, about to turn 12. One night she follows her father into the woods and stumbles upon this dark secret that he had, and she saves a woman, and as a result her father goes to jail. And so the first 2 chapters were really just showing Naomi at 11 years old and going through that, and I haven't gotten very far other than that. It was definitely a hard read, not in that it was hard to read, but emotionally it was hard. So I'm interested to see where that backstory is going to slot into the rest of the story, because it's not told purely just from her being 11, 12 years old. Obviously she's going to be an adult now and the rest of it. So, but I'm interested to see how she deals with the fallout of her father going to jail and, potentially being a serial killer, and how emotionally that affects her and her family, because her mother at the beginning, her mother refused to believe it was true. She kind of accused her daughter of lying, and so that's some interesting dynamics there. It's hard, but I'm curious to see where the story will go. But I'm only 2 chapters into that, and my final update is for Something in the Walls by Daisy Pierce. I am 28% through with that. This one is a purely audiobook read. It was in the horror category, and this one is newly minted child psychologist Mina has little experience in a field where the first people called are experts. She's been unable to get her feet wet. Instead, she aimlessly spends her days stuck in the stifling heat wave sweeping across Britain and anxiously contemplating her upcoming marriage to careful, precise researcher Oscar. The only reprieve from her small, close world is attending the local bereavement group to mourn her brother's death from years ago. That is, until she meets journalist Sam Hunter at the grief group one day, and he has a proposition for her. Alice Weber is a 13-year-old girl who claims she's being haunted by a witch. Living with her family in their crowded home in the remote village of Bannathel, Alice's symptoms are increasingly disturbing, and money is tight. Taking this job will give Mina some experience. Sam will get the scoop of a lifetime, and Alice will get better. Mina is sure of it. But instead of improving, Alice's behavior becomes increasingly inexplicable and intense. The town of Bannathel has a deep history of superstition and witchcraft. They believe there is evil in the world. They believe there are ways of dealing with it, and they don't expect outsiders to understand. As Mina races to uncover the truth behind Alice's condition, the dark cracks of Banathel begin to show. Mina is desperate to understand how deep their sinister traditions go, and how her own past may be the biggest threat of all. And I'm intrigued so far. The beginning, we were just getting set up of Mina and her soon-to-be husband. We don't really like him. He's quite a bit older, I think, than her, but he also looks down on her chosen profession, and just, I don't like the dynamic between the two, but thankfully he's not really in it much in the beginning. I'm intrigued by the journalist, Sam, but really the only thing we know about him is that he met Mina at the bereavement group. He lost his daughter, just like she lost her brother years ago. I've started to get to the creepy bits a little bit, and listening to it, it's definitely not something that I want to listen to right before bed. I did have to throw on somewhat of a palate cleanser before I could go to sleep last night, but it's starting to get a little creepy. You're starting to get into some of the haunting aspects of it, and I'm really interested to see how far that's going to go or where the story's going to go. It's the next day. I finished Something in the Walls. I thought the first part of it was really creepy, really good. The second half, there was a shift, and it kind of dropped all of the witchiness. It didn't explain Alice being possessed, and the ending was just not my cup of tea. I felt like it was kind of a cop-out. And yeah, it's like the witchiness, the hauntings, the talking to ghost part was just completely dropped. It was never explained, never to be heard from again. And yeah, I think the ending was just a cop-out, in my opinion. I only read 2 more chapters of The Obsession, so I'm still not very far into that. These chapters are kind of long, so it's taking a little bit to get through. Where I'm at in that, we've graduated from her being about 11 to 12 to her being 16 now, and I think there's one more chapter of that era to get through before I think we're going to be at the age where the bulk of the story takes place. And then as for Dance of Thieves, I'm 45% through with that. These chapters are really snappy. I'm enjoying the story so far, and I'm liking the characters. I just wish Cassie and Jace would quit lying to each other as much. I know there's really no reason for them to trust each other, but I wish they would. And I wish they would kind of just realize that they don't have to be on 2 separate sides. So I would love to see them working together more, learning to trust each other more, and not doing things so underhanded with each other. But I am still really enjoying it, and it's reading really fast. So those are my updates for today. So I just finished Dance of Thieves, and yeah, I think my dad picked right. That was such a good book. It's a duology, and the ending of this one ended on such a cliffhanger that I was like, I'm probably going to have to pick up the next one soon. It's not available at my library, so I'll have to figure out and see if it's available on Kindle or not. But Dance of Thieves was great, and I am about that far through The Obsession, so not very far. I'm 108 pages in. I think we're still at the setup point. We haven't really gotten into what the crux of the story is, but we're in 2016 now, so I think that's where the bulk of it will take place. But I think it's still in the setup stages. So I'm 166 pages into The Obsession, and that's that far through. Why does it feel like it's all just been set up so far? Where's the plot? it feels like nothing's happening. She bought a house and she's decorating it and she's meeting people of the town, and that's it. So I finished The Obsession, and overall it was alright. The first half felt really slow, and the second half you get more into the nitty gritty darkness of it all. And um, I feel like there were some unnecessary parts. Like, I didn't need to be in the head of the killer. I didn't need to see his point of view at all. I didn't need to see his thoughts. I didn't need to see him at all. I don't think I needed his point of view whatsoever. But yeah, check content warnings, trigger warnings before getting into it, because the second half is pretty freaking dark. It may not be easy to read about if you're sensitive to certain things. But yeah, overall, I think this week was a good week. It was nice to not have to make any decisions on what I'm reading and leave it up to someone else for a chance, and help me get through some books on my stack. So, thanks, and I'll see you next week.